Okay, this is the start of Atlas's graduation instructional training videos. This is Jamie speaking, but Meredith was his primary trainer. I know she included some videos demonstrating some things in his final report card, and I'm going to do my best to do as many instructional videos today as possible, but he's not super jazzed about the rain, which is understandable. But if we cannot get some quality instructional videos today, what I would like to do is just have him come back for a complimentary day of day school, and we will take his videos then. But I do apologize that the weather is not cooperating. I told Meredith due to some scheduling things that I would handle his instructional videos today. But like I said, the weather is just not cooperating, and I want to make sure you've got all the resources you need. So we will include videos from another pup if necessary, and then hit film his later. But just wanted to at least give you a heads up in this first one, just so you know what the situation is. So this first video, we're just going to dive into the hand signals that we use, and then I'll also go over how to get in touch for virtual support, which is of course very important. You have the cutest little face, Atlas. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Good job. All right, so as far as hand signals, for sit and for settle, we use a fist. Settle is basically just asking him to hold a sit, which is why they share a hand signal. Sit, of course, we're just having him sit down, but settle is like if he's really amped up and we need to get some impulse control going, that's when we'll use the settle command. And basically the difference is for sit, we'll mark yes as soon as his butt hits the ground. For settle, it's going to be after he holds it for a few beats, then we'll mark yes and go in. Typically for petting for that one is going to be the reward. And then the next hand signal, down as in lay down, we are simply pointing to the ground. Touch is 2 fingers out at a height he can really comfortably reach. So you just want to make sure it's low enough. If you hold it out or up, he's going to have to jump, and we don't want to encourage that. So just make sure it's at a height he can comfortably reach to tap his nose against our 2 fingers. That command is used to get his full attention and focus back on us. So we'll use it if he's distracted, like on a walk, for example. But we also use this for recall. So recall just means having him come when he's called. We use here and touch for that. But if he's distracted, sometimes touch works a little bit better than here for recall work. So just a heads up on that. And it just can be attributed to the fact that it is much more specific and it's engaging because they're making that physical contact with us. And it's also one of the first things we teach. It's so easy to teach. So you can work on it like this at home, especially if he's really distracted or just learning to take commands from all of you. Touch is a good one to start with. You're going to take the treat, fold it up in your fingers, and yes, good boy, and hold the other ones out. I'll go to sniff it, you mark yes, and then you can just release the treat from there. Obviously, you don't need to go through all of that for him now, but just so you know how we teach it, touch, yes, good boy, and so you can practice just like that at home, so you can reward him right away and get him excited to listen to you too. All right, so again, touch is 2 fingers out, yes, good boy. Place, we are pointing to whatever it is we are using as place at the time. Place can be really anything. We just want it to have boundaries. So here we use elevated dog beds because they are lifted off the ground, so they create really nice, well-defined boundaries. I do recommend you get one of these if you don't have one. But the link for that is on our website under resources. It's also under FAQs. I think we have the supply list in both places just so it's easy to find. So again, hand signal, simply pointing to whatever it is we're using as place. Just make sure it's in close proximity. Oh yes, good boy. He's like, I'll kind of do it under this since it's covered, but he's just not a happy guy in the rain. That's okay though, bud. That's okay. Good boy. Yes, good place. And then to release them, we'll say break. Good job. And I'm going into more detail than just the hand signals here, just in case we don't get to other stuff. So again, place for pointing, we just want to be nice and close to it. We'll mark yes when all 4 paws are there. And then I'll usually have the pup sit or lay down just so they're nice and comfy, since the goal of place is to have them stay there until we release them. Sit. Yes, very good. Good boy, Atlas. Okay, break. So again, we want to point nice and close to whatever it is we're using. We're not going to point from across the yard. That's not super helpful. Dogs just don't have the same way to decipher exactly what it is we're pointing to at a distance. I'm sorry. Okay. And then stay is just a palm out. So really self-explanatory. That hand signal is pretty universal, just a palm out for stay. So again, just to review without all of my asides, sit and settle, down as in lay down, touch, place, and stay. And now he's going to be all kinds of confused because I just did all the commands for him at once. The following videos will go more in depth on what all of those commands actually mean. I am going to wait a few minutes and see if the rain is starting to pick up. So I'm going to see if it'll slow down. If it does, we'll come out and film some more. If not, like I said, we will just make sure that they are done on a different day of day school. You can come brush up on things, have fun with us, and take videos. But the other videos with the other pups, the same information applies. It's just kind of nice to see your own dog in action. I know in the report card there are some of those, but I just want to make sure you've got all the resources available to you. And then for virtual support, so that's a huge part of the program. What virtual support means is you have the ability to set up basically virtual training sessions with us. And that can be done via audio or video. It's completely up to you. So you can book a virtual support session with us using the QR code that's in his graduation notebook. You could also find this, on our website. It's also in this email that contains all the video links. So it's in a variety of places for you, again, just to make it really easy to find. And we just want to make sure we are encouraging everyone to truly take advantage of the virtual support and make sure he just stays on track. That's the whole goal. Have your questions answered, learn how to build off of things, get clarity if anything seems confusing. So that will be a big help too if all of his specific videos don't work out. And if you don't have availability for day school in the next couple of days, then virtual support will be great. Just go ahead and get one on the calendar, and we'll be really excited just to hear how everything is going and to help and guide you along the way. So that is everything in the first video. The rest, some of them are always generic. That's going to be like marking with yes. Basically, every single time he does something completely incorrectly, we're going to mark with yes. So that's really important. Other things to note, please look in the grad notebook for the first week home guide. Basically what we want is we want to start with fewer distractions, more one-on-one work, and kind of build up from there. It's normal to see some regression in the first few days, but we just want to make sure we're setting him up for the most success possible, meaning we're not going to like bombard him with all these distractions. We're not going to take him out into public. We're not going to have him out with a million guests over to see how well he's doing. We want to take it slow so he can kind of understand that everything from training still applies at home. So the first few days after graduation are really, really important for this. And you just need to stay really consistent with adding structure and boundaries and not letting him jump and things like that. So that is everything. Virtual support is one of our alumni resources. The other big ones are boarding. So if you ever go out of town, we would love to have him back. All of our boarding does include training. So it's a really good opportunity to brush up on things and build off of what he learned during his board and train program. And the other program that we offer to our alumni is our day school program. So if we don't finish these videos, he'll have a complimentary day he can use, but we also have packages available at discounted rates for our graduates. So a lot of people who graduate, their pup graduates board and train, they'll send their pup back maybe in the beginning once a week, and then they'll do every other, and then once a month, just to make sure that they are staying really consistent. It's good accountability, and also it's just a fun way for them to have a social outlet with other dogs, play in a smaller, safe environment. That it's kind of like doggy daycare, but it is run out of my home, so more less dogs and more structured. So the focus is always on training during that too. So let me know if you have any questions about anything in this video or any of the following videos that either are of him or other dogs. My apologies again about the weather not cooperating, but we are here for you to support and help in any way we can.